If you're struggling to sell your offer, let's talk about one big thing that could be broken that I can show you how to fix today that's going to make people's eyes light up when you tell them about what you have for sale. So there's a marketplace that's close to my house. I walk there to work a decent amount. And inside this marketplace, there are like 60 or 70 different businesses, restaurants. There's like a kickboxing gym, a yoga studio, a gymnastics studio. There's a hair salon, a dentist office, a bookstore, and a coffee shop, and a lot of other things. And most of the businesses in there are doing very well. The place is super busy all the time. But occasionally, there's a business that opens up inside of that market, and then within just a matter of months, the business closes its doors. My wife and I sometimes like to make predictions on which businesses are going to succeed and which ones are going to fail. Even my wife, who's not ever had an interest in business or entrepreneurship, can tell when one of the businesses is going to fail. Like a business that just had a few board games sitting out and like a bored-looking person sitting behind the cash register. I was like, why would anybody ever go in there? It looks like just somebody's hobby, and I don't even know why they would open a business just selling stuff like that. There's no way people are going to want to buy that stuff in that environment, and the amount of those that you would have to sell to even cover the lease, it just doesn't make sense. And within 3 months, that business was gone. There was another store in there that just sold t-shirts, and the t-shirts were not even that desirable. And I'm thinking, nobody wants to buy t-shirts at a market like this. You not even anywhere to go try it on, and you're selling them for $15. It's just not what people value. And guess what? Within a matter of months, the t-shirt store was gone. Meanwhile, across from the t-shirt store, there's a sushi restaurant, and that place is the bomb. And there's usually a line of people waiting to get a table. And so this sad little t-shirt store just sat there. And I remember like eating sushi and looking over at the guy just sitting behind his register, just waiting for someone to come in the store. And whenever someone did, he'd be like, "Oh, can I help you?" And I felt bad for the guy. I wanted to go over there and give him some business advice because he's watching in front of his face all these other booming businesses where everybody is just like, can't wait to give their money up. And yet he's struggling to make a single sale. If you watched my interview that came out with Donald Miller recently, he talked about this idea of there being a Venn diagram in business. So you picture two circles overlapping, and one of the circles represents whatever it is you're really passionate about. And the other circle represents something that the market wants. And Donald was saying that if you want to succeed, then you need to find a way to create an overlap between the two. For me, I'm really passionate about writing. I love to write books. I'm currently working on my 4th book, and I'm fortunate that the people I love to serve, which are coaches and creators, they want to have books too. And so I've, after years, found the best offer for me, the overlap between my passion for writing books and the fact that the market also wants to have a book of their own. Those businesses inside of the market, they just, one of them had a passion for board games. One of them had a passion for t-shirts. However, it was only passion. The market did not want what they were selling. And that is where the problem lies. And so what do you do? There's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all answer for this, but at the end of the day, it's about being real about what you can actually get money for. People aren't just going to pay for life coaching. I mean, you can make some money doing that, but really what people want is an outcome. So imagine if that board game store, they have a passion for games, right? But nobody's going to go in there and buy a set of checkers when they're like hanging out at the market. Well, what do people want to pay for that's still within the area of that person's passion? Well, there's another business in this market that is successful, and it's one of those VR arcade kind of places. And people go there because it's an experience. They put on the goggles and they play the games, and it's just really fun. And so imagine them pivoting, if their passion is for games, to adding something like that the market clearly wants and will pay for. And then you could still talk about sell board games in the store, but it's not going to be your primary revenue driver. And with the t-shirt store, it seemed like their brand was more about like the outdoors, like, getting outdoors and hiking and things like that. I know a company here in Colorado that makes a lot of money taking people on epic hikes. People will pay hundreds of dollars to have a guide that takes them on a really sick hike and even camps out with them one night and just shows them how to do everything. And so imagine if that guy started planning tours, right? And he took people to the outdoors, which was the thing he was passionate about anyways. It seemed like he was there trying to hype people up about hiking and getting outside. And then when people pay, then he has a business and they get invested in his brand. And then maybe after they have the experience, maybe they would want to buy one of his t-shirts. So he can still sell the shirts, but it's more about tweaking things to be realistic about what are people already paying money for and how can I step into that stream. Sometimes fixing this can actually involve changing the demographic that you target. Like I know people that their offer is to help you raise your energy levels. However, if you just market that to anybody and everybody, honestly, the average person is not that interested in raising their energy levels. They haven't watched a YouTube video or read a book on how to do that anytime in recent history. So you're just going to attract people of all different kinds, and people are going to be like, meh, maybe, or I don't have the money, or I don't really see why I need more energy. But I will tell you that there's one type of person that is really passionate about having more energy, and that's entrepreneurs. These people that are into personal growth. The reason why is because they realize how much more money they could make in their business if they could have more energy. And I can already hear you out there saying, but I don't really want to talk about helping them make more money and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. You don't have to. Nobody's going to force you to do that. It's just that you're kind of crossing your arms and saying, I don't want to listen to what the market is telling me. I insist on having things my way. And if you're like a beginner trying to start your business and you're already like so closed off to learning about what actually works, then I don't think you're going to have like a great chance of being successful. You have to be willing to give and take a little bit, right? Again, we're finding that overlap between what you're passionate about and what people actually pay for. If you want to make good money, you need to find that overlap. If you want to barely scrape by, you can stick with your passions. At least don't go sign a lease at a market where you have to spend like thousands of dollars a month just in rent. You start a business online, you don't have any costs. And there's lots of people that are doing that. They're scraping by, making $2,000 or $3,000 a month, and they're just sticking to what they're passionate about, not really caring about what people will pay for. If you want to take things to the next level, you have to think like a businessman or woman and just be real practical. All right, that's what I got for you guys today. I hope that was helpful. Not trying to be hard on you guys. I just want you to know how it really is out there. And if you were to pay $30,000 to join a high level mastermind and you went there with your offer, that's what those guys are going to tell you. And so I'm telling you now, so you don't have to pay the money and you can understand the path to making a lot more money selling your offer. Appreciate y'all being here. I'll see you in the next one.